So here we have a few questions in part 3 about sports. What do you think are the reasons some people prefer playing team sports over individual sports? But I think the reasons might be different. One is that some people enjoy the company of other people, or the fact that they can perform better when they are working, cooperating with other people. And the excitement and the way that you react to the changes that happen in such games, well, I think it makes it more appealing for some people. It's not very easy to say, but I think there are different factors. Some people are more sociable and social than others. So maybe it will be a better option for them. They feel better. And it's not just a game. You talk to other people, you interact with your teammates, you analyze the opponents. All that happen at the same time. I think that's the reason why some people enjoy it better. For example, they can take the position of a leader or coordinator or something, some other tasks. It's impossible to do that when you have an individual sport. So maybe that's the reason why some people enjoy it more, enjoy being part of that kind of sports. How can a sporting event unite people from different countries? Well, that's a very interesting question, because some problem arise when people come from different countries. For example, they have prejudices and they have unreal picture of a person who or a nation who is even in a neighboring country. And such events help them understand that they are very much same. Because in many cases, especially in developing countries, media try to manipulate people, try to show that they, for example, they are enemies and they're bad people, or they want to hurt us, or they don't like us. Things like this, that most of them are lies. Because nations never oppose each other directly. People never oppose each other. But politics try to force them to think that way. And these events try to do exactly opposite thing that the politics do. They try to show that they're like human beings, exactly like us, exactly like your neighbor, exactly like your cousins. There's nothing to worry about, and you still can be friends with anyone around. I think that's the beauty of it, especially in modern times. And when you compete with each other, beautiful moments can be created. I think we have had in the history many of such occasions, even in the darkest days of human history. We had this, and I think that's one reason such events survived and flourished. Of course, they can unite people because of the reasons I just mentioned. Has the popularity of international sports events changed in your country in the last 10 years? In what way? I'm not sure if the popularity has changed, but I can say for certain that they used to be very popular, like international sports, like football among European countries, and international sports of different kinds. I can say some of them has increased even in popularity, because in the past, maybe 30 years ago, football or soccer was the most important, most exciting one for people. Recently, basketball, volleyball, different like taekwondo or many other sports have also enjoyed a lot of popularity. I can say that because I can see how people react. Other sports were not very common, people did not respond very well to those sports a long time ago. But now, I can say some of them enjoy real popularity among general public. Sports like volleyball, as I said, or wrestling or powerlifting, things like this. Millions of people follow them. As I said, it's a serious popularity when we look at it. So, but other sports like football, from as long as I remember, were very popular, and they are popular today. So there hasn't been any kind of change among those, but the others fortunately are more popular. Do you think governments should invest more in developing a sports facility? Why or why not? Yes, of course. I think if the general public use or is able to use this kind of facilities, that's a great idea, because usually young people are attracted to them. A lot of young people don't know that they have these serious skills and they have these talents. When they start playing, they understand that, and that can be an opportunity for them. And I think a lot of jobs are created when for example, young people choose to spend more money on sports. For example, preparing the equipment and try to take part in such activities. Otherwise, they would spend their money on maybe drinks or maybe smoking, or they do other things that are not healthy. And I think that's a great change when government invests in those facilities. In your opinion, are famous athletes good role models for children? Why or why not? In certain cases, definitely famous athletes can serve this purpose, and they have been good role models, and millions of people love them. But unfortunately, it's not always the case, because some of them are engaged in, for example, illegal businesses, illegal activities, or some of them later start to use drugs, unfortunately, and many other problems. I think involvements of celebrities and athletes in politics is wrong, and unfortunately many of them are prone to this. Many of them try to follow and support certain political groups in our country at least, and this is where they cannot be a good role model, because especially young people, children, try to see them as some sort of idol or god without any problems, without any shortcomings, a perfect image. And this perfect image unfortunately makes a lot of mistakes, because they're human, they're not perfect. And this is one big problem with this picture. But fortunately we have good people, great personalities, and these people have done a lot of good in our country. The athletes that try to be a good role model, although it's very difficult to be, because you have to sacrifice a lot, you have to sacrifice some of your personal life to be a good image for many people. But fortunately we have had a lot of examples. What are the benefits of children participating in sports from a young age? There are different benefits and advantages for them and for the society. One is that they can understand that they have talents, and I think it builds their character. When you take part in sports, you understand how to interact with other people, with your peers, and they learn a lot about leadership. They learn a lot about teamwork, and how to, for example, cope with bullies, or how to cope with other problems that lie ahead, or maybe a lot of ideas take form in that age. I think a lot of good things happen when young children start doing the sports, participating in that kind of games. Because if they don't, what happens is that they sit at home, watch TV, or play some online games or other types of games that, at least I think, are inferior to real physical activity that you can have, because that's the time that your body is in a really good shape, and that's the best thing to do, is to play and do some sports.